And we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 214 of Fans of Power. I am Joe Amato, and I'm here with Nathan Kennedy. What's going on, Nathan?
Oh, not much. Toy Fair this weekend. Lots of good stuff that got announced with NECA and Turtles and
Yep.
Ghostbusters, but something's missing, Joe. They
Yes.
didn't they haven't announced anything. They
Nothing on.
didn't bring anything, I guess.
No, nothing on Masters. I mean, I think they said the rumored was possibly that maybe tomorrow. We'll see if that happens and if there's something, drastic and different. And if there's new figures announced and not just the same stuff we've seen before, maybe we'll have a bonus episode that you guys can tune into tomorrow if they announce something. If not, then we'll just wait till the following Sunday.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of NECA stuff. I mean, but we'll get to a little bit of that. I mean, of course, the main topics we'll be talking about issue 4 of the Multiverse comic. Yeah, and some voice. We finally heard some voices from the upcoming Revelation cartoon, which I thought sounded damn good. And kind of the other elephant in the room, some people might be wondering, is like, what in the hell is going on, Joe? You got a different mask. It's like, yes, there's my buddy Sean Swanner. And I hope I said your last name right, Sean. It's like, hey, I thought that was your buddy. Shouldn't you say his last name right? But you know how it is. You have friends, and sometimes you might screw up their names. People will screw up my name. But Sean, he's seen my mask that I had when I do some other lives sometimes on Facebook. He said, I could do another Modulok mask for you. And I was like, no, man, you don't have to do that. He's like, no, I do it. I love to do that. So he did this kind of inspired more on the combination of like the Filmation cartoon and the toy itself that, just came out, which of course, based off of Filmation, a little more evil. So what's crazy is when he did this is the exact same size as my other one. Just it's slightly different shaped. Obviously it looks different, but it was freaked out with this. And then he did this as a bonus. He even did, the alternate head in mask form too. So man, it's awesome. So if you guys wanted to get any of these masks or any, whether it's this or something, whatever you want, you can contact Sean. You can find him on Facebook. Just look for Myth Logic Forge. That's how you find him on Facebook. I'll give a link.
All Joe had to do was just shoot me a link, and I could have easily put it in the description
I could have said, son of a bitch. And what's weird is, as I was saying, I was like, I could have did the fucking link. But I mean, we'll get a link. Don't worry, we'll get a link to you guys. You guys can order any.
I'll put a link down there. There's actually a couple links down there. If you guys haven't heard the voices for yourselves, the link is down there. Grim 2 kind of spliced together some of that audio with Filmation, and when we get to that topic, I'll kind of give my opinions, but you guys go ahead and check that out. That way you can kind of form your own opinion as well.
Yes, no doubt. So, because we are going to get to that. But first, let me just, again, thanks again, Sean. It's a freaking awesome mask. Love it. And love the other one. Probably won't wear the other one just because I just don't want to, wreck 2 masks. And in fact, just to let you know, Sean, I didn't even wreck this mask because what I did was your mask that you sent me, I just scanned in and I not redid. I just cut out one myself because I was like, I don't want to damage what you sent me because it's so damn cool. He's, because he wrote on the back of it, and I was like, I don't want to sweat that mask up and make it all nasty and wreck it like I do with all my other masks. So, see, I could just print out this, and once this wears out, do another, but keep yours in pristine, condition, and it's a harder stock. So thanks, Sean.
Oh, and I guess before you go ahead and dive into the chat room, I guess I want to plug something as well. I want to plug, and the link is also down below, but Manic Plastic Toy Shop. I picked up quite a few classics figures that are going to be here this week. He's got a ton of great prices on his site. There's like Ghostbusters, there's Turtle stuff on there. There's Vintage Masters. He's got a handful of classics on there as well. And
did you include a link? Is there a link below?
Yeah, I already said that, Joe.
Oh fuck, you did. God, I'm doing what I always do.
Come on, man. But yeah, the link is down below. Compared, especially when you compare prices to eBay, I'll just say this because he already sold it, but he had Ghostbuster Firehouse like in pretty pristine condition. He only had $50 on it. To me, that's a steal, especially compared to eBay prices. So you guys click on that link and go see if you can find yourself something that you've been looking for a while.
There you go. That's the way to do it. Got to share the love.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let me say hello to the chat room. We have Papa Hood 69, Zentron, Zen Brown, Curtis Ackerman, DJ Tags. Let me scroll a little bit now. Sorry, I know I should have clicked the one icon. Leave me alone, Nathan. Fuck it. Dingalorian, Grimbot, Adam Gabbert. I do it just in case I would have missed something else. David Clark, Febmon. Oh, I already said Febmon. Rick Poe. Maybe I didn't. Omega Tor. Eric Amon, Darth Baca. Leave me alone, Nathan. Let's see. And Retro John, He says, my name's John Wise, but Retro John here, huge fan, love watching and listening to you. Thank you, I appreciate that. We definitely both do. Well, there's Robert Fletcher. What the fuck is he doing in here? Sorry about the language. I said I wouldn't do that. And there, I think I got everybody.
I don't know why
you won't hear no more.
Joe like puts himself like, oh, I'm not gonna do anything this week. And then we're what, not even 5 minutes into the show, he's already done it 3 times. I don't know why you care anymore.
You're right. Yeah, that's why I probably would never be invited on any other show. They would say, Joe, we don't have that thing where we hit the censor beep every time.
Especially when David Clark was with us last week. I imagine after that he was like, yeah, no, we even though he said it, I think he was just being nice. He was like, no, I can't have these guys on this show.
Exactly. I was just picturing any of them, be like, "Hey, Joe, welcome to the show," and the first thing is, "Fuck yeah, it's great to be here." It's like a first word.
Or you knock over your tablet like immediately. It's like, ah, shit.
Yeah, haven't done that in a while. You got to give me credit on that. I shouldn't have said that because I might jinx myself.
You've already jinxed it.
But I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to dive into the first thing, and it is going to be about the voices that we heard for the upcoming Revelation cartoon. You get to hear them like testing out some of the stuff. So I'll pass it to you, Nathan. I don't think we could play to let fans listen to it like as we do it now because I don't know about all the legal crap.
Well, I didn't even have it set up for us to play to where it would even come through. But yeah, from what I gather, from what I saw, Grim 2 said that this was part of sort of like this presentation that they did, and he got the audio off of that and posted it. He sent it to me last night, and I'm like, all right, well, let's listen to this. The initial impression was I'm hearing just like a hint of the Joker from Mark Hamill, and that was kind of, I guess,
Did you think that was already expected, like in a way of just knowing?
Sort of,
yeah. But I mean, it's still different, though. I mean, I do like what he did, but you're right. Immediately I was thinking, is this going to sound Jokerish? Because how many ways can you kind of spin it? But I think it's still original enough to where it'll feel like Skeletor. I think once you just dive into it.
So I was kind of disappointed by that because I thought that maybe it would be a little different. Obviously, hearing Evil Lynn, I'm like, all right, well, she's just going to kind of go with her normal speaking voice. There's no problem with that, really. And then we heard a little bit of Tony Todd in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Wasn't that towards the end? Because I was at first disappointed. I was like, I didn't hear him. And I told Grim, I was like, I didn't hear Tony Todd. I didn't hear no scare glow. He's like, no, I think towards the end where maybe there's a laugh or something. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that was that. So the initial impression was I was kind of about it. But when I checked out the video that Grim 2 made, putting it together with animation involved, it kind of brought me around to it a little bit more. I'm not completely convinced, especially with just Mark Hamill essentially doing like a Joker light. It's like maybe 50% on that. He's not like going full Joker, just like a little bit. I'm kind of going in circles here. I just thought he would sound different than what he did.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you got to think the similarity almost. I'm not saying completely because I don't want people ripping me saying, well, Skeletor doesn't sound like Joker. But I immediately, when I heard Mark Hamill, I was like, well, it's going to be similar to Joker, but it's got to be Skeletor-like. So, yeah, it's a slight modification, maybe not drastic, but I think it, like I said, it's enough to where, yes, this will be a great Skeletor voice. Yeah. And as for Eva Lynn, I love the voice there. And then knowing Tony Todd, that he did do something towards the end, because I was thinking, there's people that will have to do a voice to sound like a certain character. And Tony Todd, I think he's going to maybe try to deepen it up and maybe slightly. Let's picture them maybe doing a weird echo effect. They're going to have to do some modification because it'll be cool to hear that just deep, ominous voice. I just only picture Candyman. So now I'm going to be not in a way, but kind of like, it's like, hey, it's Candyman, but it'll be different. Yeah. But what I like is all of them that did the stuff, they are doing voices though, compared to it's a quick rant. And this, I promise you, it's going to be less than 45 seconds. I speak 45 miles an hour.
I really thought. I was hoping this would have been the episode that we would have gotten.
It's 45 seconds. Okay, well, here's the thing. You remember when Netflix She was announced and the voice actors immediately made fun of it, especially Marcus Scribner. He sat there and made fun of the original Bo's voice and did this mocking of it. And then when you listen to him, it's like, yeah, it just sounds like you talking. And that's what all of them in that Netflix She do. It's like, you guys are just talking using your regular voices. You're not trying to act out and become these characters like they did back in the day and like they're at least trying to do, and it sounds like now for the Masters of the Universe Revelation. So I give them credit that, yes, this is voice acting, not just talking with your normal voice saying, hey, look at me, I'm doing a voice roll. No, you're just talking. Fuck off. So there. See, I was quick. I told you 45 seconds or less.
Are you done? I took my headset off so I didn't have to hear it.
He's like, and the thing is, I can't see you. So I'm picturing, did you really just hold off your headset like this, like la 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 la, and like Tyler would just do this?
No,
just,
I didn't do anything with my hands. I just sort of stared off into space for a little while.
It was quick. Yeah, but go ahead, continue with what you were saying. I did that quick though. I think that was respectful.
Well, I think in my head when I listened to it that first time, I was like, all right, it's one thing for me to think this, but once the visuals, once it's all put together, I'll have a different opinion to it. And Grimm 2's video certainly helped out immensely with that. Once I saw it in motion, I was like, all right, yeah, I can get behind this. So. Yeah.
And he also pointed out one other thing, just so people wouldn't get excited about. There was like this one page on Facebook. It was called Upbeat He-Man. I don't know if it was shared in a lot of places, but it said, breaking news. First look at He-Man and Skeletor in the new Masters of the Universe Revelation TV show coming to Netflix. But the image they showed, it's not from the cartoon. Grimm said, actually, it's not from the show. It's stock artwork done a few years ago for Masters of the Universe Classics toy line. So this art you see, just in case people were excited and saying, oh my God, that cartoon's going to be epic.
Right.
No. Hopefully it will be epic. Don't get me wrong. I want it to look great. But what you're seeing there, no, that is not the cartoon. That's just something they use. So thank you for that, Grimm, because I didn't even know about this page, and I didn't know if it was going to spread. But
that's a good thing to get that out there. But it's probably going to happen anyway. People are going to see it. But, oh, yeah, this is it. And it's like, no, that's not it. That's kind of the beauty of the internet, right? Can't believe everything you see.
Yes, as we know with that stupid Fisto thing that will not go away. I swear that pops up every week in a different group, and it drives me nuts. And then people say, that's terrible for them to use that kind of language in a mini comic back then. That's horrible. It's like, yeah, it's because it wasn't real. That was fan-made. It was locked up about Fisto fisting people. That was never his dialogue. So, yeah, I try to let people off the hook. I always hide my name or say something, and people know when I'm joking. But, of course, I'm never going to taint and do something that stupid to make people think, hey, this was really real, and then make Masters get mocked. So, why do you guys get worked? I'm always getting worked up. You're always doing this to me.
I did nothing of the sort. A MOTU.
Yeah, Kevin Sharpe joined us. So did JSP. So did a couple more that I missed as we were doing this. But we're going to get you all later because just to let you know, we're going to probably go right into the comic now. So spoiler alert, if you haven't read it, you're going to read and hear and see all of it. And, of course, after that, we'll take all your questions, comments right after that in the chat room, whatever you want to hit us with. But this is where I pass it to Nathan. There's a 30-second delay. So, of course, I got to wait, too, for things to come up as well.
Yeah, I went ahead and put up the covers. So here we are, issue 4. Only 2 more after this, Joe. I'm gonna maybe just go ahead and say this now, and I'll probably say it again towards the end. If someone put a gun to my head and were like, pick your favorite issue so far, I would tell them to just go ahead and pull the trigger. But if I absolutely had to pick one, this would probably be I put in quotations, my favorite.
Right, because while there's some annoying stuff. Yeah, you're right. While there's some annoying stuff, they were trying to get going, but this is how the other one should have been, to where it was trying to get going, action, seeing a lot of battles of all these different He-Man. But just, again, right off the start, we know that when they show a cover of any comic, usually whatever's on the cover has nothing to do with what's inside or is always just a little misleading. But this one, just the reason it annoyed me is you're seeing the evil of the Anti-Eternia, how whatever turned him into Anti-Eternia is now corrupting Filmation He-Man. Just to let you know.
Yeah, man.
This shit never happened. It never happened to Filmation. It happened to movie one, and you didn't even see. Well, you'll see when we get into this. Just pissed me off.
the symbiote, man. It's taking him over. He's gonna turn. Turn into Venom.
I hate that. Yeah, so that's the cover. And don't get me wrong, I love it. It's a beautiful cover. I'm not going to knock the artist. That's a fantastic cover. Just, again, Filmation He-Man never had this happen to him. As you'll see in the comic, it's somebody else. But this is how we get going. Now, I said in the last issue how it ended. I was like, oh, here we go. It's a way of them mocking Filmation He-Man in the cartoon. And people were like, well, just hold back, Joe. I doubt they're going to do that. No, they didn't. They did it right from the start. It starts off with a moral, because remember, that Filmation cartoon was corny. All it was all about morals. It was silly and stupid. And here goes He-Man starting off. Remember, Orko, it's not the recognition of the deed that makes a good deed worth doing, or whatever the good.
And he says, that whole line of dialogue right there, I'm just like,
too much.
It's too much.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
we're repeating the same words that it's just like
right.
it's
You know what it
pointless.
reminded me of? It is pointless because when they had the morals back then, they were clear. They were, you could understand them right from the start. Anybody from a kid to an adult, but kids can understand the morals. That a lot of double speak, using the words repetitive, and it reminded me of when they did those Brady Bunch movies and when they were mocking the original series, how Mr. Brady would always say something, and in the movie he went over and over the same thing, and it's like they were getting tired. That's what that was. But immediately, this shows zero respect because they're showing this is what they think the cartoon is and what they believe most fans think it is, even though this cartoon has meant so much to all the fans, and again is what made Masters of the Universe the global sensation that it was. Because if it wasn't for the cartoon, trust me, it would not have lasted that long. I love the toys, don't get me wrong, but this is what got it more recognized, was the damn cartoon. That they like to mock with this. But I'll pass it to you so you can start giving some of your thoughts.
I they did an all right job here with the filmation look in the book, and I would say that compared to the other issues, the art is at least somewhat consistent than it's been. Though we're kind of getting into a spot here too where movie He-Man is kind of like his characteristics.
Extra angry?
No, well, it's just I don't know how to say. It's like he's just changing in some weird way all of a sudden abruptly. Like,
Yeah, it seemed like it.
are we just to
Yeah.
assume that like everything that's happening is starting to like take its toll on him, and now he's just I don't know. It's just the weird stuff with the way that these books have been written. It's like they have a base understanding of the character, but as the story goes along, it's like they sort of get foggy headed and don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I
where
mean, it did.
It's like they're making it up as they go along. That's what it seems like.
It seemed like
Sometimes
it. I mean,
reading
I
it.
could have understood it when it happens later with the whole thing. That, well, when it gets to that, I can understand. Okay, maybe now that's why he's a little extra angry. But it seemed like it was just too much. And then again, the more of the mocking of Filmation is when, like, what are you hearing, Keldor? And he's like, oh, another lesson. Like, that's all this cartoon is about lessons. And then we hear this comment of, they don't know they don't know what war is, basically. They don't know war. They don't know death. I was like, and this is when I always say, did you guys watch the cartoon? I mean, yes, you might not have seen somebody murdered, but don't act like they didn't go through strife and war in that cartoon. There was a lot that they went through. There was parts where there was experiencing of death that could happen, but even here in hints of the past. I mean, all I have to say is, because I won't say it, because since they obviously know what they're writing, I'd always like to just bring up Double-Edged Sword. I won't even say the plot of Double-Edged Sword, but any Masters of the Universe fan who knows that episode, they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, there's definitely one person in there that knows about war. That's just one example. And there could be hints of death in that towards the end, too. But I always say go look at Double-Edged Sword as just a sample. And there's a lot more parts, but that's when I get pissed, is because I'm just seeing, again, first they're mocking it with morals, and they say they don't understand war. They don't understand. It's like, no,
Yeah.
they do. So, but it's their way of just, basically trying to make a point that they'll do later. But I'll
And
pass back to you. And like, I really care about that little shit getting stabbed.
well,
Fuck them. Who cares?
I hate how he calls him looking up He-Man as well.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I'm
looking
like,
up.
that's the best you could come up with.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, let me go ahead and get this swapped over to the next set of pages here. And I just want to reiterate, I do like the art that they did for Filmation in this book.
Well, that's the
it
thing.
looks pretty
I mean,
spot on for the
Yeah,
most
now,
part.
yeah, because, as compared to some of the other comics and stuff where there's a lot more detail, yes, maybe Filmation didn't have as much. We know in the other seasons they started adding more shadowing and highlights and stuff. So, yeah, I guess doing something a little more simplistic, you figure, hey, you should get that, pretty spot on. But there's a part where I really get pissed with that kind of design later in the comic. But I will pass it back to you.
Well,
the whole thing here with
I mean,
sources.
I was gonna say, hey, if you didn't know what the Starseed was, we get like plenty of dialogue here on the second page that will tell you all about it and all you need to know. I hate
They do quite a great.
yeah. Oh no, I just hate how that's what they've done before. It's like they toss the name out there and then they have to sit and elaborate every little aspect of it. It's like, do we really need to go that far? Like it's like they're trying too hard, but then it's like a push and pull throughout all of these issues. It's like, oh, hey, we do know this, but then it's like they do something else that completely contradicts that. It's just like base, No, it would be like me going in here and be like, oh yeah, Starseed. Yeah, let me go ahead and get like one of these books here. What's that? And then just write it all out and put it in all the dialogue.
It was a lot. I mean, especially if they're expecting that the majority of fans know it, and even if the majority of fans didn't know it, it's like, yes, that was a lot of excess talking there that really wasn't needed. But of course, we get to, I mean, you then get to see, yes, it's, it's He-Man Day. They have to, like, acknowledge that part from the cartoon again, too. It's He-Man Day. And basically, that's all the cartoons that are about, rainbows and gumdrops and He-Man Day and happiness. So just more of the stuff to where this was so dismissed. I read it, went past it. It meant nothing. Of course, you're kind of finding out, like, what the hell is going on with Zodak, because they should have heard something back from him. But I guess you're going to find out, apparently he must have died or some crap. Like, yeah, of course, Anti-Eternity He-Man is even killing off all the Cosmic Enforcers, because we seen, like, in the other issue was something. We never seen what happened, but obviously he's strong enough to beat all of them, so...
Oh, well, and hey, on this next set of pages here, I think my favorite part was, now to disappoint Tila with my trademark irresponsibility.
And I hate that. Again, I mean, yes, we know that is a thing that is supposed to be played on, almost like the Clark Kent Superman thing, but it's not all typical. And the thing is, this was their way of writing Filmation He-Man out of it, because what pissed me off, it's like, obviously, if, like, let's say Man-at-Arms and Orko would just go tell the King and Queen or Tila that, oh, Adam had to be somewhere, Adam had this come up, but no, he has to turn back into Adam to then go Tila, or tell Tila, which they're already going to be telling, like, Man-at-Arms and Orko's already letting things know go on, what's going on, but this is way so when he turns back into Adam, that bam, he gets hit from behind, and we're going to see who later, but I'll have a rant about that, which annoyed me. It's like, oh yeah, you conveniently took out the most powerful He-Man of them all. Interesting, out of this story, just to keep it going through. It annoys me. He better come back. If you don't come, never mind. I'll just go ahead. And then we see Crackers.
Crackers
we see
the Clown. And,
but of course, not Crackers.
Well, Grim had already brought up here in the chat room. I said for the most part it was consistent, because you do look at Randor and everybody here. Like, yeah, that looks pretty rough.
Yeah, wait till you see Skeletor later.
Right.
That annoyed the hell out of me.
Yeah, so I said for the most part. It's better than it's been in the other issues. But yeah, Crackers.
So you see...
Crackers being an asshole.
Yeah, Crackers is being an asshole. You're wondering, why is he being an asshole? You see his eyes glowing red. We'll wait till it flips to the other page. We'll find out why Crackers is like this.
Joe, you kind of look like Crackers the Clown a little bit.
Thanks. I got a big smile or something? Was that it? My big smile?
Yeah.
Kind of matches Crackers?
No, you kind of look like the grumpy version there in the corner shoving Orko away.
Oh, yeah. I'll wait till you get to the next page. I'm trying to, like, I'd like to rip the Band-Aid quickly off as quickly as possible. Just get going. Because, okay. Well, then, bam, you see that, obviously, they've never been able to convince the other He-Man about stuff, so this is their only way of getting, bam, they're the one that zapped Adam, so they can do and go to wherever the fuck they have to go to. But anyway, so you see that Crackers is actually Anti-Eternity He-Man, so you're assuming, oh, okay. So at the end of issue 4, when he's seen Crackers, maybe he just killed him and he made a suit or something. I mean, I really don't understand.
Why couldn't we get that part? I would have loved to have seen that. It would have been like Terminator-esque, I imagine.
No, but that's what I mean. It's like, okay, at least we could see him get killed. But I mean, did Anti-Eternity He-Man, does he have magic abilities we don't know about, and he could, like, make suits appear in front of him to turn into people? Because I was like, did he sew this? I mean, it sounds stupid, but it's not. It's like, when did you have time to do this? This happened within what? A day? I don't even understand. It's like that quickly? How did he make Crackers the clown's outfit? Jesus Christ.
He just, he walked up to him and he was like, give me your clothes and your boots.
In your face, yeah.
Yeah, in your face.
In your fat stomach or whatever. I don't fucking understand. So we go to the next panel. You see where they pop, because they're trying to, like, protect the Starseed. Adam's trying to warn movie He-Man, or as Keldor calls him, looking up He-Man, or looking down, because one's looking up, one's looking down, as we find out. Whatever silliness. He's warning him about that, because we know that He-Man, felt that corruption of that Starseed, which he was able to fight, but it's something that can definitely, especially when you have emotions, certain kind of emotions, it can feed off of that.
And look at Adam's face. I love the facial expressions on this page. Just, what I had in mind to say, I probably shouldn't. I'll keep that one to myself.
Yeah, you do that. See, I keep things clean, so you should keep it clean too.
Oh,
so.
Yeah, mister, I've already said fuck like 18 times this episode.
I don't know who's keeping track. We'll have to see. But next week I'll go and not say a single one. But let's see what's happening here. We'll go to the next page. When I'm on the delay too, so I haven't seen when it flipped yet. Oh boy, the excitement's just everywhere. So okay, now you're actually getting you finally get a battle, and the battle is with kind of Keldor and Anti-Attorney He-Man. It's like, okay, they're kind of scrapping, they're going a little back and forth. And then, of course, now just all that hate that you said for some reason just was building and building up in movie He-Man. It's really taking control now because he does have the Star Seed, so he's ready to kill him right there. He's about ready to take him off. But you got to have a... So you go ahead. You go to your part, and I'll go to my part so I can just relax.
I'm kind of in the same headspace I've been reading all of these. I get about halfway through it, and I'm just kind of like, I find myself caring less and less the more we get into this. I don't even really know what to say about that. And we just get some more battling. I've already switched the page. I do.
Well, just to let you know, the battling, this is what I wished could have happened from issue 1. Yeah. Everybody that he supposedly killed, like, could we have seen Anti-Attorney and He-Man fighting all these different He-Man, having some more battles instead of just quickly dismissing, you have the power, you have the sword, it's gone. I mean, I think that's what, if anything, annoyed me. But now you get to this whole thing, because now that this hatred, and it's really taking control of him, obviously you see it's starting to corrupt movie He-Man. Not the cover where it showed Filmation He-Man, because you see he's fucking gone. But it's starting to corrupt, it's starting to take him over. But there's basically one person that eventually might be able to do something about this, way of getting somebody else in here. But go ahead and give your thoughts a little bit on these panels. Like I said, I don't read it word for word because people can read themselves, but just give my thoughts.
I mean, it was all right to see him sort of like talking to him, so go ahead and feel that anger kind of like turn over. But the bottom here where they're like headbutting each other and it says Wacoom. Like, what kind of...
I'm just lost because,
I don't understand.
Is the hatred... That's what I mean. Is this hatred and this anger and the power of the Star Seed is what is supposed to be corrupting movie He-Man to turn him, and like you said, like this rip-off of Venom symbiote to corrupt him and then coat him in that black look. It's like, but is that how Anti-Attorney He-Man came to be? Because, I mean, he didn't... What are we talking about? I thought that's how he always looked. I'm so lost because the story is so convoluted that even if it was trying to be explained, it just... It doesn't make sense half the time, but I'll let you pass to the next pages.
Well, like Wacoom. What is that? What sort of noise is that supposed to sound like? Though?
Maybe I don't. Am I actually trying to defend the sound effect? Isn't that terrible? Out of everything in the comic, I'm trying to defend the sound effect.
But I mean, when people headbutt each other in like cartoons and stuff, it doesn't make that noise. I don't understand what they were trying to go for with it.
You're right. I mean, maybe the swords were touching.
Just take that word out and just have that panel of them headbutting each other like that. Would have worked better.
Maybe. I'll wait till the next panels come up.
Yeah, we get old Filmation Skeletor shows up. If anyone can change the course of what's going on in this issue, it can certainly be Skeletor.
Yeah, because somebody who was wanting that and wanted that power too and knowing about it, it's him. I guess that's the thing that kind of like got me when I was looking at it. It's like, okay, when they got to the one part where they showed Skeletor and they finally showed me his eye, he's like, my stomach hurts. He says, there's nothing funnier than this circus when they realize their clown is dead. And then he says, "Nya." I was like, oh God. I mean, again, thank God they didn't put the M, because if they put the M, I'm going to let you know, in the history of the Filmation cartoon, Skeletor never just sat there like, I'm going to get you all. Meow. He never said this phrase. That was something made up just to be mocking on YouTube, and then everybody ran with it, and they think it's real. That's why he better not say it in Netflix cartoon, because he never says meow, but here he's saying yeah. It still don't make sense. But when he's talking about, like, realize their clown is dead, I'm like, okay, what were you watching? Did you watch Anti-Attorney He-Man kill him? And why wouldn't you be intrigued wondering who the hell is this guy? Or, you know what I mean? It's like, and then if you've seen that, then are you seeing everything? I hate when there's stuff that's quickly put in there and it's like, explain this. What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm hoping that Anti-Attorney He-Man just sort of like gutted Crackers and then hung him up on the trapeze or something, and he's just swinging back and forth and everyone like is freaking out. Like,
yeah, because when there's no explanation, Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's like make up your own story of how he died.
Yeah, so I mean, I just wish some things were a little. explained a little better and a little clearer, because when you're having to guess again, okay, what did he see and why doesn't he know this and what's going on? But this page at the bottom of seeing Skeletor, that is the laziest drawing I have ever seen. I mean,
Yeah,
you can see
that's
how
pretty
they
bad.
obviously.
You know,
It
you
is.
know
It's
what?
like,
I'm gonna, because I read this issue on Wednesday and some time has passed and I already mostly forgot about it. But
that's bad.
you know what? I take that initial impression back. Yeah, this art is still pretty bad.
Have they seen, like, again, have they seen that cartoon? I mean, yes, we know that there's the basic kind of stock footage that they would have for a lot of this stuff, but there's some damn good evil-looking depictions of Skeletor, and not just damn good depictions of everybody in general, but there's some wicked looks of Skeletor that we could have popped up during this show too, but this is what they chose, and it looks like it's so lazy, just quick little lines. It just looked like there was zero effort in that Skeletor with that big face open, and then even the next part when he's jumping towards that Starseed, which you can get to the next panel. Nathan, you do this to piss me off. I think that's it.
Well, I do want.
It's like, Joe, you bought it. They say, like, Joe, you bought the comic.
Yeah, no, yeah. When I was actually talking with Tyler, which I have a good story about when I was hanging out with Tyler earlier this week. He looked at me, he was like, why is Joe making you continue to read that book? And I was like, he's not. Like, he's not. We just decided to just see it through no matter how worse it got or if it did get better, which I don't think either one of us had that hope that was going to happen. But, yeah. But yeah. I think what sets this issue apart and how I would choose it if I had to, of it being my favorite so far, is at least we have got a decent amount of action. Like, it's not completely cut short. At least it looks like it starts to gain momentum and it gets going a little bit. And you can kind of, I don't want to say get into it, because I was halfway through. I was just like, like, it's what happens every time. I start reading these, I'm like, all right, what's in store? And then as it's going on, I just don't feel anything until I read something and it just kind of annoys me that they wrote it that way. And then I get like a little upset. But at the end of the day, I kind of just don't care.
Yeah, because you're right. Again, they did try more with action. It would have benefited the other ones. But just sometimes when it's just, like you said, when you're not really invested too much, when the story is already so convoluted and confusing and just annoying, sometimes you kind of don't care. I admit, I was like, Skeletor looked badass when he got all that power finally. I was like, all right. And of course, you didn't see Anti-Attorney He-Man, only to realize, oh, he's absorbed into the Starseed here, which we'll get to the next panel then. But I was like, that looked kind of wicked. I'll agree. People might get pissed saying, Joe, are you nuts? But I was like, okay, I can feel that Skeletor looks a little insane. Looks better than the piss poor Filmation one that they drew those couple panels before. It's like, this has more details, but whatever.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I like the look of him once.
Oh, wait, no, there is Anti-Attorney He-Man flying there. I forgot he got flown off the panel. I assumed he was in the Starseed. I didn't even know what the hell was going on by now.
Yeah, you just kind of checked out like I did, I guess.
I don't know. It's like my brain's just shut down. Especially when you see there's a part that comes that did make me think that, because I forgot he was right there around that crack sound effect or whatever, but then you didn't see him in the other panel, so I'll wait till you get to the next page.
Wakuma.
Oh, is that what it says? Does it have that sound effect?
No, it doesn't. The sound effect here is like, choom.
Oh, there I forgot. Yeah, he's back here, so they're both diving for it. And yeah, there's the big sound effect. But you see when they're both jumping, and he's like, Adam, do it now. And he's like, by the power of Grayskull, to pop it into there to explode the Starseed, which, again, wait till you get to the next page, because this is when it was just slightly confusing, because I seen Anti-Attorney He-Man killed, or I'm assuming maybe once Anti-Attorney He-Man touched that. I don't know if he went in it. You'll see. I don't know. I get so fucking confused with this stuff. I was like, what are we saying? What's happening? Or who was in what? I don't know what's going on. That's what I meant when it was happening. I was like, well, what did just happen?
Yeah. So I guess when he touched his sword on there and it exploded, it shot his sword out and stabbed Anti-Attorney He-Man, which again, we're like, they have these weird
is that what
logistical things of.
And coincidence, that's what I mean. It's all, what a perfect coincidence. But okay, that's the thing, because I was lost. I was like, wait, did he stab him because he was in the seed? Did he get sucked into there? And then this was the next thing. But okay, I guess it flew back. But now you're going back to the Prime, and of course this is going to be going to the Alcala mini comics, which I know Grimbot at one point said, when was Castle Grayskull ever up on a hill? Now, I know in some of the old mini comics, you'd see a slight little hill and it's up like that, or whatever. But, okay, but he's going here, but is he going to He-Man's village? Because remember, by this time, He-Man was already gone from this village. That's how he left it, and that's how he was given, the power harness and the weapons from the Green Goddess. I'm sorry, the Goddess / Sorceress, who was green. But she gave him those items, but he was out of the village, so I was like, was he going to go to this village to where He-Man is not at? I don't know. I mean, I guess we're going to find out. And then you see the whole thing, the emotional thing with Keldor and holding his face, and I guess, what hope does a Skeletor have? Like, it's in him after that big explosion and stuff. But coincidentally, yes, the sword is an anti-Eternian He-Man, so now obviously Adam doesn't have it. But when you're seeing this here anyways, you only see movie He-Man and Keldor. You don't see Prince Adam from Filmation with them, because I'm still thinking, if he has that sword and he turns, he's going to kill the shit out of him, if logically. I mean, but of course he doesn't know war, they don't know death, so they probably wouldn't have him do it. But you're going to the He-Man, this He-Man that he's going to be going to right now. That's why I'm really intrigued. Now you can flip this off and flip us back on.
I'll flip you off, Joe. There's the finger.
Yeah. This is what I'm curious of. Yeah, flip you the finger. I'm very curious, though. Remember, this is a He-Man that does not transform. He does not go from Prince Adam to He-Man. He doesn't use a sword to turn into He-Man. He's already He-Man. Right. And this power sword does not wield the power of Grayskull. It's a key, as you know. When you take the two halves of the sword and put them together, it opens the secrets of Castle Grayskull. So let's say if he gets their version of this sword, and if they know how to write properly, but I don't know if it's going to happen, if he gets into Castle Grayskull, but still, what's guaranteeing you're getting the power? Skeletor's been in there before. There's been people inside Castle Grayskull in the comics and in some of the Slash coloring books and things that were still kind of based off of this kind of look of He-Man. But still, the two halves of the power sword, that doesn't mean you have ultimate power. It just means you get in there, but are you still guaranteed the secrets of Castle Grayskull? So how is he going to get the power or understand it when this isn't through the sword? How will he have this knowledge? That's why I'm wondering, how are they going to write that? It's just like the DC one that was in the DC comics with Superman versus He-Man that was in the 3-part series back in that time too. That's when you did have a Prince Adam. But remember, Prince Adam did not transform by the power of Grayskull. He went into a cave. And remember, he went to the cave and boom, then he became He-Man. So that's another He-Man that how would you know how to deal with or understand? So you can go ahead and give some of your thoughts. But yeah, kind of really confused.
I'm glad there's only 2 more issues left.
JSP said basically I saved $12, $16 thanks to Joe and Nathan showing us how crappy the series is.
We want to say again, if you guys enjoy if you like all the power to you. I'm glad you do. I'm glad you take something out of it. Right now, I'm just kind of is what it is. Another, I guess most people would say a missed opportunity. I would tend to agree with that. I'm still holding out hope that Wonder Bread He-Man's the one that's going to bring all this together.
We know nothing about him. He comes out of nowhere in the last panel and kills everybody. They're like, who the fuck was that? I don't know, but he stopped them, and then it's over. It says the end. Makes no sense, but pretty much there you go. That's what they should do. Just throw in Wonder Bread He-Man. Nobody knows his origin. He's a mystery. He should be the one that kills them all. We don't know his power. He could be getting a power from that loaf of bread. We have no idea what's going to happen. Don't fucking know. Wonder Bread, they always said, eat your bread, get strong and stuff. It's full of vitamins. So this Wonder Bread holds all the power of the universe. That's it. Oh, shit. Let me see. Hello, Strobe Life video. And I got you earlier. I might have missed other people. But right now, you guys can start popping in your questions. We'll answer them. And maybe we can even cover some of the comments you've had, if Nathan, because you can control that a little quicker and better in the chat. If you see some comments you want to acknowledge, hit that before we get to their questions.
Well, I should have had this up. Let me go ahead and go to last week's video and read if there were any questions. I know there were some comments. Let's check and see if there were any questions as well.
Michael Purvis, late to the game. He just showed up and we just finished all the main topics. But Michael, if you still have questions or anything you want, you can pop them in. But we just finished up a nice positive review on Masters.
Yeah. Positive. It was a fun time. But it was. And Michael, I went ahead and plugged the website, Manic Plastic. Drawing by Hand said, this is all on last week's video where we talked about the cast reveal. It's great to see MOTU Revelation cast reveal and characters. Jason Mewes, he thinks that Jason Mewes as Stinkor would be a good fit for him. Sarah Michelle Gellar as Tila is good. So overall, he enjoyed the casting. Mega 19, I agree with you guys on your points on the casting. Now, for me, I was introduced to the 2002 He-Man series, but I was born in the late 80s and did recently watch original He-Man, which, yeah, that was cheesy. Which, funny enough, that the showrunners of the original He-Man went on to create Power Rangers. Is that?
I have no clue on that Epic Grimbot thing because I've never watched a Power Rangers episode. So I have no clue.
So there have been quite a few characters that unfortunately aren't in the first season of Revelation, such as Manny Faces, that would have been very interesting to see if they could do a more dramatic version of these characters. It just kind of goes on to talk more about that.
Okay, appreciate the comments, though.
Yeah, which going back on that, it's kind of a good thing that they just didn't have, like, here's everybody. It gives them a chance to, like, bring them in over time, kind of spread it out a little bit.
No, agreed, because there's ones that we want, and by the way, hello, Scott and Savannah, hope you're enjoying the show, watching with their dad. No, that's the thing. Yeah, it'd be great to have Manny Faces and a lot of the, and Ram Man, and even Stratos. Yes, I give Stratos shit as a figure, because I hate the figure, but you know what, yes, I mean, in the cartoon, he's fine. But, yeah, just sprinkling some other ones and ones we didn't expect would be there, and then maybe they could come back in the next season. Hell, maybe they could still be in season 1. We're not, I guess, guaranteed. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to be everybody that's doing, the voices for all that, everything in season 1. So there's a possibility, but yeah, it'd be nice to see some of the other ones pop up as well.
Right. Descendants of Grayskull. Descendants of Grayskull said, fantastic show, hearing your views on the cast for Revelation. Seeing Tyler on the show added to the flavor. Yeah, you got to have, like, the piss and vigor that Tyler brings to really, like, anyway. I really hope the animation and art matches the cast standards and we get a serious take with little bits of humor like Filmation did, which will give Masters of the Universe the much-needed boost. They also need to get their act together with the separate license nonsense. He-Man and She-Ra were obviously allowed together at Filmation and again in the Eternity Wars comics, so to put them together again surely can't be that difficult. I think She-Ra would have better treatment from Kevin Smith rather than her abomination through Noelle Stevenson. So yeah,
thank you for that, Mike. Yeah.
yeah. So
agreed, and hopefully, if we do get She-Ra, like he said, we'll have the warrior She-Ra, an actual warrior. Some of you, again, I say a million times, you're in trouble. You'd pray somebody come help you. You'd want She-Ra to come save you, not Netflix She-Ra, like, oh, that's just a kid who turns into another kid and just has that fucking just way they talk and obnoxious and crazy, has big eyes and big mouth and doesn't feel like you change from one character to another. It's the same damn character. You don't feel like that's your hero. Our She-Ra, that's a hero, and I'm sure, hopefully, Kevin Smith, if she pops up, she'll be a hero. So, Papa Hut said, hey, Joe, could you make a Starseed Power Skeletor custom for me? I mean, I admit that did look cool in that comic. That was probably the cool looking thing in there. Would be interesting. JSP said, right now perusing the episode guidebook. David Clark says, it'd be fun to see an outline of ideas detailing how you would write a multiverse comic story. Hey, if that's a challenge, I'll do something like that. Believe me, I don't back down. And no, I respect it because, David does enjoy this comic, which is great. We always say if somebody likes it, that is fantastic. I'm just not a fan of how this stuff would go. I would put in more action, but also seeing the characters that he's killed. Let's see how that happened. Let's see what led up to certain things. Lay off on so much of the non-stop dragging out parts of the story.
Yeah.
Yes, story is important. Don't get me wrong, and I know some things need explaining, but there's just a little too much at points in this comic where it's like, less talking, more ass kicking. That's what I'd want to see. And just definitely make sure you stick more close to the source material. Don't stray too far. Don't screw up where there's something you're supposedly knowing what you're doing and then they screw up, whether it's wrong dialogue, whether it's wrong art used in parts. Just have proofreading. That's what gets me mad. It's like, don't you have some people that's supposed to proofread and check some of these things that, remember, were admittedly, oops, we screwed up. That's what have some proofreading.
Well, Tyler and I were talking about it as well, and we were on the same page that at the beginning, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because for the most part, all of these different variations are canon of one another that kind of seamlessly go from one to the next. So it's almost like it's the same universe and not different universes.
And the one thing, I guess, if, again, we're to do this, stay to at least the canons that almost everybody knows, like the Tappers of Grayskull, He-Man.
Yeah.
Almost nobody knows about that damn game. There's people are. Again, remember, I actually placed it first in a lot of the tournaments. But the Tappers of Grayskull He-Man, I wouldn't have put him in there. And to be honest, Sideshow collectible statue He-Man and Skeletor in issue 1 who get killed off, like, what?
Yeah.
So remember, some people thought that was Filmation. They were like, oh, that was Filmation He-Man and Skeletor. No, it wasn't. That was based off of statues. So there's no story with that. Leave the toys and statues or things that never had a story out of it. Keep in stuff like, yes, mini comics, the early DC stuff. Things that we've known, hell, even Golden Books has different ways they did stuff.
Yeah.
Some, yes, based off Filmation Bible stuff that wasn't put into the cartoon, that was put into stories, but there's still other stuff. Hell, we had a violent He-Man in one of the Golden Books in the Sunbird Legacy where he decapitates a snake. If you want to talk about somebody that knows death and war and in their eyes, have him in there. So get some characters and get some stories that we could recognize. Right. And just, nothing off of a statue. That was ridiculous. That really was pointless.
Yeah, I think sticking to like the core stuff and not just shifting away to, I don't know, it's like, oh, hey, here's Mega Construx He-Man. You know, gotta have gotta have him in there with Tappers as well. Like, why? I don't know.
Like you honestly didn't know that was Tappers of Grayskull He-Man at first, right? You actually thought it was a Mega Construx or something, or a pop vinyl.
Yeah. Well, it's surprising they didn't do that. It's like, oh, let's go to the Funko Pop Masters of the Universe, right?
Don't give me any ideas. They're like, hey, wait a second. We still haven't finished up issue 6. Let's have a big grand finale, and they show every version. And we have the loyal subjects version.
That's probably what'll happen. They'll find a way to like reverse time, but all the He-Men are together, standing like, oh, look at that, isn't it? And it's like, no, come on.
That would be that'd be horrific. But all right, Fedmon's wondering if DJ Tags' children are learning any new words yet from Joe. Now they haven't heard nothing. Curtis Ackerman said, Joe, do you do airbrushing on your customs, or are they all hand painted? No, there's parts where there's certain characters, yes, I'll do airbrushing. The fine detail on like certain parts in the eyes and face and lips and mouth, the ones that you have to, I'll use a paintbrush. But it's a combination. Airbrushing does help with some of the bigger figures that really need to. Well, it'd be a really time-consuming, plus you don't want brush strokes. Sorry if that bored you into anything when I was babbling about stuff, but, you're probably wondering me and my paintbrush. But, using paintbrush.
I've tried to convince Joe to kind of, like, talk more about his processes and show off his customs more, and he's just like, oh, I can't do that.
Well,
he'll brag about all the video game tournaments he's won, but he can't show off the things that he gets paid money for. So there we go.
Guys, everyone know those stories on a side rant, boy. I'd hit you with those. I'd talk and say them quick, but there's a lot of those things that I did win, and some I got screwed out of and should have won. And not just saying that, but I got proof. I'm telling you, I get you that stuff there.
Yeah, okay. Strobe Life Video said, Joe, if you don't plan on wearing the other mask anytime, you should send it to Nathan. Would be badass to see the dual heads of Modulok on here.
That's a good idea. I mean, Strobe Life, just to let you know, I don't want to send him this because I want to keep it as mine. It's mine. But what I could do is I could scan it and send him off one, but you can't get this. You can't get the actual one itself.
But we can do that one day. I'll wear the mask for all of 5 minutes and just be like, Joe, I don't know how you do this. And that'll...
Well, it works because it's off my face. It's not encompassing like a regular mask that'd be under the chin and everything, and then it gets hot to where you can't breathe. It's off my face, but it's... it works. And Strobe Life, again, this is awesome, and I pinch you out. I let people know how to contact you, and they can get anything.
He didn't give me the link. I'll put the link down there after he sends it to me, so it will be there at some point. Adam Gabbard said...
because what... go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe.
Well, I was going to say what Strobe Life does is the main thing, how people were first seeing him in groups for what he was doing was he would turn people into their favorite masters.
Yeah, I've been seeing that.
Yeah, which is really cool. So, I mean, if you love Beastman, he could turn you into Beastman and still kind of look like you, but as Beastman. But with me, he don't see my face. I was like, well, you can't do me. I was like, I'm just Modulok. But he's like, well, I'll do Modulok. And then he did this. So, but go ahead.
Adam Gabbard said, was the deal with the cool figure behind Joe up front of the 2000X Trapjaw? You want to go ahead and talk about that?
This figure that's in back of me, I ordered a figure from a group, the BOD, good people, Chris Daniels, Nick Maeda. I call them both pricks, but they have like some deals and stuff, and I got that little sucker. I was like, he's a little muscle character, and as you guys know, years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I was doing the crossovers of Jason as a Masters of the Universe character, but I would sculpt him as Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers and Freddy. One little sucker I couldn't do, though, I think that pretty much gave it away. There's one horror character I couldn't do because he's too small, would be Chucky. So he had this figure that they were like selling. I was like, I'll buy that sucker. So he's going to become a little He-Man version of Chucky because he's muscular, and it'll be a cool crossover. So it'll be like a muscled up Chucky in He-Man style. So that's that. But thank you, Adam. And Grimbot wanted to let us know that he said, no, that would be Haim Sabin and Shuki Levy.
Yeah.
It was like Shuki did the music for the show, and Haim. Okay.
Yeah,
Is that for reference of that
the Power Ranger thing? Yeah.
Okay, see, I'm clueless. So and Aaron Voorhees says, "Damn, I'm late." Yep, you're late to the game. JSB said, "I know you discussed it earlier, but I will say Mark Hamill does sound good as Skeletor. I think at least." Oh yeah, JSB, I said the same thing. I think it sounds good. Nathan, just like, well, you can explain what you said, just sounding a little similar to Joker in your mind.
Yeah, it just when I heard it, I'm like, yeah, this is sort of like Dollar Tree Joker right now. You know, it's like just enough of it, and I'm just like, it's hard for me to disassociate with it, but. Once I saw it in the video Grim 2 did and saw it in motion with the voice, I'm like, all right, I can totally get behind this. So and that's the thing too, like with all of this, I'm all for everything. I'm like, oh yeah, this is fine. We won't know until we actually see it and watch an episode to really formulate an opinion on it. For now, it's just sort of like snap, instinct, decision making on it. It's like, oh, okay, I'm a little disappointed by it, but now I see it here, not so bad. So we'll see.
Like I said, I mean,
I'm still excited. I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Like I said, I am too. I mean, I have faith in this, more faith in this than any other cartoon. Like I said, if any cartoon needs to succeed, it has to be this. If this ended up coming out and it really sucked, I mean, I think faith in bringing back Masters will just be really coming to a halt in a stall. I mean, we already know the constant delays of that damn movie, but if a cartoon failed and they're like, God, it's not going to happen. It's like, I wouldn't see them ever wanting to do Masters again. If they would, probably wouldn't be for another 10, 20 years. So I'm praying that they do some great work. So here's crossing fingers. And Zen Brown brought up a very good point. And I'll tell you what, that'd make me forgive all the shit in this comic. He's like, we just need Anti-Attorney He-Man to show up on Netflix She-Ra's universe and destroy it. That'd be fucking awesome, Zen Brown. Do you imagine that just for no reason at all in issue 5, you see him do a quick little warp into the She-Ra universe of Netflix, kill every fucking one of them, and it goes back. I'm like, all right, you know what? You guys are all right with what you did with issue 4.
I think if that, between that and if they do the Wonder Bread He-Man thing, if any of that pans out, I'd be like, all right, you know what? This series is great. Ignore everything that we told you before. This is fine, but I don't see any of that happening. It would be funny.
It would be. That's a fun one though. I like that. Zen Brown. Fetmon said, "Who would you be the voice of on a Masters of the Universe show? Any era, and this is for the both of you." So Nathan, you see yourself being anybody?
No, not off the top of my head.
I admit I'm a sucker for maybe wanting to try like Modulok or.
Let's throw it to the chat room then. Who do you think Joe and I could voice? And I do want to say, I'm not gonna like do it here on the show, but I am capable of like altering my voice. So who do you?
Me too. I can do it. I do a good Filmation Skeletor. Yeah. Not that I'm saying I get that role, but I can do Skeletor.
And Joe has an awesome impression of a little kid voice, so he can get free candy on Halloween. So don't forget about that. But yeah, who do you guys think that we would play?
Would it be fucking Stanlin? Bring Stanlin back or something? For some reason, him or some of those other little shit kids from the cartoon. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Okay, well, we'll see what they pop up there. Yeah. Let me see. Grimbot says Netflix She-Ra is on Universal DreamWorks side of things, so that shit ain't gonna get referenced in any shape or form. Yeah, I can understand, but it will. And DJ Tags, you said right at the end of the month, so next week you're going to see all in his glory. He wanted to wait for the end of the month of Eazy-E, and he'll be up nice and close. You get to see him all close because you've seen that one shot of him back here a few weeks back. But once I'm at the end of the month, you're going to get him right at the end of the month. So that's going to be next week's episode because after that, it'll be we'll be in a new month. Let me see. Loyal Subjects He-Man was probably killed before book 1. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, there's probably stuff that was on. And let me see. Joshua also likes giving me shit about like my Modulok mask that I'll still wear here once in a while. It's gonna be like altering, but it was like, yeah, you and your paper plate mask. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should do that. Maybe I said I'll try it. I'm gonna try to make a Modulok mask out of a paper plate and wear it one episode.
Of course,
I could do it.
Fedmon asks Joe, "What is the furthest you have ever traveled from home, if ever?"
Oh, let's see. I went to Canada, and one time when I worked at the one shitty place that worked me like a dog for 10 years, we had to go pick up we had to stay there for like 5, 6 days, and it was right before Christmas. I was like, I better fucking be back by Christmas time. I ain't gonna be gone at Christmas time. But we had to like clear out a business that went out of business and get all their old equipment and crap. And it was just days of stocking and wrapping. 'Cause like I said, I used to be a shipper, receiver, warehouse worker, pre-boxer at this one company. I did all these jobs.
We get it, Joe. They treated you like garbage.
They did. Oh, it was bad, man. I was glad when that place went bankrupt, and then it led to me doing customs for a living. Who would have thought that? Because I never did that stuff. I mean, I never thought that'd be a full-time job. But yeah, Connecticut, we went there and we were there for like, I don't know, 6 days picking up all that crap. Been to Canada, and pretty much that's it. I'm just in my city my whole life, just a city sucker right here. That's
let's see. I'm going to go ahead and answer as well. I've kind of been all over the place because I live in Virginia. So I've gone all the way down to Florida. I've been all the way up to New York. I've gone like kind of across through the country, up through the Dakotas, in the Yukon and Canada. I've been to Alaska. So I've been all kinds of places. I need to go.
So you're better than me? Is that it? Basically, you're saying you're better than me?
No.
Trying to show me up, damn it?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, and now, you know, in a few months, since Val's already paid for the way, the flight, the hotel, and all that, I can say, like, hey, I've gone as far west as California as well. So, well, all
right, you'll have to do that for me on behalf of me. You have to do that.
Yeah.
Grimbot said, you know what might happen in the last issue? They traveled to the real world to meet Mark Taylor. Well, that'd be different than hopefully Mark Taylor could write some of the other crap out of existence, or write a new story or something that Bam could go to give them the ultimate source of power.
It like goes to him, and it just shows him like looking like at us, and in the bubble it just says like, who wrote this shit?
Could you imagine? I'm not mistaken. I think Mark Taylor, and Grimbot might have to correct me on this. He's like me. I like saying He-Man, and of course I like saying Masters of the Universe, but I don't even think Mark Taylor likes the title Masters of the Universe. I thought he said it was like too long and complicated. I might be wrong, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, so hopefully Grimbot can correct me. But I thought somebody that worked on the original Masters of the Universe said they didn't like the long title.
I mean, it worked out for him, right? And if you don't like how long it is, just abbreviate it and say MOTU like the rest of us. Okay?
Well, Jesus Christ. No, I think he'd hate that more. Let's see. I hate competitive gaming. Keep the plate on your face. I will do that, Joshua. Let me see. Did I?
No.
J-Tags.
Well, David Clark said, your thoughts on Mattel not showing any MOTU toys at Toy Fair. I guess we still have a couple of days, and you had posted on your site, adultcollector.org, that they might show something tomorrow, so we'll see. I'm hoping that it's something new and not just regurgitating the same, like, oh, yeah, we know that the Origins line's coming, here's who's in it and everything. I know that they, Prince Adam and the Sky Sled, right? Were like confirmed that those are coming out, so there we go.
And I think they even showed I think David also posted on his page as well that another picture of Orko with this little basin. Orko looks amazing, but yeah, hopefully if there is something shown tomorrow, that they'll show some new stuff as well. Because like I said, we could possibly do like a little bonus episode tomorrow. So in case there is something new that will be shown, then you guys know we might pop up tomorrow night as well. No, just depending.
Yeah, it depends. We'll pop up, do something kind of short. And judging from the chat room, I guess I'm just gonna voice everybody.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, it's been all over the place. Rio Blast, they picked you to do Orko. Count Marzon for me. Prince Adam, Ram Man, Cyclone, Man at Arms. Too Bad. So I'm just gonna play everybody, I guess. Oh, and they want you to do the Skeletor voice again.
Beastman, you bumbling buffoon! Eternia will be mine. I think that's pretty good.
That's not bad. I would really need to just like listen to everybody and like try to mimic it before I come on here. And
not the best. I'm not saying that was the best one. I mean, especially when I'm rambling for 2 hours and my voice starts going nuts. But I think it's still kind of okay. It's not bad at all.
Not because Grim 2's like, try doing Trap Jaw voice. I'm not. I need to like listen to everything and practice it and actually try it before I just sit here. Mechanic, I've been nominated for Mechanic as well. And Zen Brown also said Mattel is having their thing tomorrow, so we'll see how that turns out.
Okay.
If there's actually
Grim just got me. He said Grim said I was too nasally. See, but again, part of it could be the mask and the rambling, and this is on my nose, so it pushes on.
Hey, I mean, hey, you
I
just
could
got
lessen the nasal.
just take the mask off and go ahead and do the voice, and
Wouldn't
everything will
that
be
be a
all right.
fuck up by accident? Like, oh yeah, you want me to do it? And I'm like, oh shit. And plus, people can add that little echoing effect to it, so it'd be. Let's go ahead. Okay, now you do it. Do something. Do a voice. I think
No,
that's what Grim about.
no,
Okay.
no. I promise I will do one soon, but I need to listen to everything and then try it and mimic it. I'm not gonna just sit here and do it off the cuff.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I would have to work on some too. Hell, they could even, if they're talking about throwing a bone and have me doing some crazy modulock, if I was to try to do a version of that, I could even do Sky High. If they introduce Sky High, just think of it. He wouldn't have that name if it wasn't for me. He'd be called, I don't know, like the Blue Bomber or some dumb shit. So I named Sky High. So yeah, I could do a voice. I can make an extra heroic, corny voice because like he'd be there to save the day. I could do something like that. I could try Sky High. So just remember that. Remember, Joe named Sky High, people. You got to know that. I think that most people do. Yeah. I like to rub it in and just keep mentioning that just to, get that out there.
Oh, you've been nominated to play Prince Jeremy as well, so that'd be good.
Great. I'm going to be all the annoying fucking characters. That's amazing. Thanks. All right. Well, I think we might have got everybody in the chat room, most all your questions. And anything you want to say in closing, Nathan, before we wrap this up?
I'll go ahead and plug it again. Manic Plastic, almost messed that up. Link is down below. Click on it. He's got some classics on there that, if you're missing some of the characters in your collection, they're on there. Especially compared to eBay, really good prices. There's vintage Thundercats, Turtles, all kinds of different things on that site. So go give it a peruse and hit him up. Buy some stuff. Buy Joe's t-shirts. Oh wait, I forgot. I need to tell my Tyler story really fast too. I didn't want to forget about this. So I go to Tyler's place. We're hanging out and go into the He-Man room, right? And you guys see like the collection behind him all the time. But what you don't know is that in front of him, he's got like a wall dedicated to the movie. So he's got like the posters like from the magazines, the theatrical poster, etc., etc. I actually don't think he has the teaser poster. But then he's just got all kinds of shit laying on the floor like Joe does. Like it's just all piled up right there.
Well, thanks.
And we're talking, and we just get on the subject, and I just joke around with him because he's got a lot of carded vintage figures like hanging up at the top of the walls, like going around the room. I'm like, hey, you already got like 2 of these, you can give me that. And then I look over there, and he's got just some of the variant Skeletors. But he also has a Faker laying there. I'm like, look, you just got this Faker laying over here, and I need a Faker. Just give that to me. He's like, what? There's a Faker over there? And I was like, yeah. And I go and like pick it up, and he's like, oh, you can have it. I'm like, what? Really? I was like,
he didn't even know he had that Faker.
Yeah,
it was like, a vintage one.
Yeah, I was like, no, I was just kidding about that. He's like, no, go ahead and take it because he's got another one like actually on his vintage shelf. He was like, I had this one, and my dad and I had to like redo his legs and stuff, and then I found this other one that was in a better shape at a flea market, and I put him with my collection. He's like, go ahead and take it. The only thing he's missing is his sword. And I was like, well, that was awesome of him. So I'm getting to the nitty gritty. It's basically just all the really expensive vintage.
God, what a beggar. All the shit you have, and you go over there and take shit from Tyler. That's despicable. That's terrible. All the stuff you have. Hey, look at what I found in my attic again. And you have like 80 things from back in the 80s and 90s, all still carded, all boxes. You got things that are probably worth up to a total of $200,000 with all your stuff, and you're going to take Tyler's damn Faker.
Hey, man, it was just laying in the floor. And I needed it. He wasn't going to do nothing with it. He's already got one on the shelf. He's already got like a carded one hanging up on the wall, and he's got a carded commemorative one.
Does he have 2 carded ones? Like maybe you want one of his carded ones as well that he spent his good hard-earned money on?
I don't think he would. Well, when he got all of those, this was like 25 years ago, so he didn't pay that much for them back then. So.
Yeah, that's a great way to think of it. Good job, Nathan. All right. Well, hey, I want to tell you, everybody in the chat room, it was great having you here, and hope you enjoyed the episode. Anybody new to the channel, always say, make sure you like, subscribe, share, ring that bell so you can always be notified when we go live, which might happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, not sure about that.
Depends.
But, yeah, well, depends. So until next time, have a powerful day.
What is the shortest match in WrestleMania history?
Well, why do I think that? Wait. No, that wasn't Daniel Bryan. Who the hell had a quick one? Look at a quick one. Was it for a title? I feel like it was a title match.
Used to be. That used to be the record holder. Until it was broken a couple years ago by an impromptu match that happened in a really terrible segment on the show.
Oh, is that something with John Cena beating somebody within a couple seconds?
No.
Then what time was it?
No, it was The Rock beating Eric Rowan in approximately 6 seconds. Before that, and I actually kind of had to look to see the time for it, but it was the ECW Championship match between Kane and Chavo Guerrero at WrestleMania 24, which was only 11 seconds long.
You could have gave me guesses till the end of time. I would have never got either of those.
I hate, just quick rant. I hate when they do that, like just those really short squashes on Mania. I get it. You're getting the guys on the card and everything, but they just provide nothing for the show. It's just like, oh yeah, that happened. What's next? I don't know. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, hopefully something will be good this year. Yeah. You hope, maybe.
Probably not.
All right. See you guys next time.